thing. Sometimes people will give you great sage advice and you still won't listen, but it'll sit in your mind and hopefully eventually you take heed of their advice and you do something with it, right? So that's why when I give out my information, I don't even trip when people don't take it initially. It's fine. I'm still going to tell you, I'm going to still use my breath because I believe that one day it'll resonate with you and you'll use it, to better your life.
Doing numbers like I'm MJ and Dash Jackson and Jordan. Boy, I'm killing y'all boring. Time to give the world what they really need. That's the H.O.
New Tribe. My name is Darius Lester, your financial philosopher, and this is Mammoth. Money Mindset. And today, I got to break something to you. I know you don't want to hear this, but your friends are in fact holding you back. I know. You love them and bitch you for 10, 15, 20 years. That's terrible. But it's true. We all are in fact products of our environment. But the good news is we all have the power to change that environment, thus changing the product. So today I wanted to talk about the benefits of improving your circle, right? I get it. Not telling you not to love people who held you down or anything like that. But I am telling you to take notice of people that have an active part in holding you back. If you're struggling with drinking and you're trying to quit, but the top 5 people you hang out with are alcoholics, that definitely could be a reason why you can't quit. If you're trying to save money, but the top 5 people you hang out with, all they want to do is go out and spend 100% of their paycheck every single weekend, you're going to keep doing that. You have to get people in your life and talk to them about these issues that you're struggling with. So obviously this is a financial channel, so we're going to go down that path, right? And I'm going to give you real life examples on people I've met along my adult journey who have had a very, very strong influence on my life, right? Because I didn't come from a financially savvy family. Not saying anything's wrong with my family. Love my family. They're all great. But I think, I have the highest education at the moment. I have the highest level of financial literacy at the moment. So it wasn't that I got that from my parents, but after I left, my hometown and I started getting around different people, I took notice of what they were good at and where I was weak at. And I started leaning into that. I started talking to those people about those things, and it's just helped propel me forward in life and in my knowledge and growth. So, first person I wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna just use people's names. Y'all will be all right. Jerry. I met Jerry at my first base. He's an older, retired guy who was working as a civilian, in our finance office. I've always been a good saver, right? Nobody really had to make me good at saving. Obviously, I think all parents tell their kids to save, but I was cool with that. I'd save my money. I'd see other people blowing it. I'm like, y'all crazy. So I was fine with that. I amassed a good, let's say, $25,000, $30,000, while I was still in my really early 20s. And I was like, finally, I have enough where I can go buy, this is some years ago, but I could buy any car that I wanted, right? And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go get a nice, pretty, partially used Jaguar. Because that was the car I really wanted at the time. And I was like, I can go to the dealership, pick something out, get whatever color I want, pay it off cash. Boom. I'm not that great with cars, so I was like, oh, Jerry, you want to come with me to the dealership? I'm gonna look at some cars. I'm gonna try to buy one. You're better with cars. Let me know if it's a crap car or not. And he was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, he's like, don't you have a car? I was like, well, yeah, but I saved up all this money. My gift to myself should be getting a new car. And he's like, that's stupid. Don't be stupid. Go buy a house. And me, young 20-year-old, why would I go buy a house? I don't know how to buy a house. I already live in an apartment with 2 other guys. I don't have a reason to go and buy a house. I don't know how to buy a house. It sounds difficult. What if I leave? What if something breaks in it? All the things people complain about with houses. I didn't Well, I listened halfway, right? I didn't buy the Jaguar, and I also didn't buy the house. But 4 or 5 years later, and that's another thing. Sometimes people will give you great sage advice, and you still won't listen, but it'll sit in your mind, and hopefully eventually you take heed of their advice and you do something with it, right? So that's why when I give out my information, I don't even trip when people don't take it initially. It's fine. I'm still going to tell you, I'm going to still use my breath because I believe that one day it'll resonate with you and you'll use it, to better your life. But flash forward, now I own, yep, now I own 4 houses. So thanks, Jerry. I'm do it. I get it now. I see the purpose in owning real estate. My equity in my houses is more than whatever money I have saved up. My net worth is pretty nice for right now. So next thing is someone who helped just change my whole mindset, right? And she didn't even do it intentionally. She was just talking about her life. But this just really leans into how important it is to have successful people around you, influential people around you, people that have a desire to do more with their life around you, because them just doing it and you being in their presence will motivate you to do more. So obviously, I'm talking about Kerr. Kerr is one of my favorite people in the entire world. She just be out living her life, but I'm gonna keep singing her praises because I think she's amazing. So the quick story of it all was I am in the military. I was like, well, I had 10 years left in the military before I hit my 20 and I can retire, right? Get my next retirement check, chill out. I wanted to save up $100,000 between now and then. I was like, okay, well, 10 years, boom, divide $100,000 by that, then divide that number by 12. This is how much money I need to save up every single month, in a regular savings account. Um, and by the time I retire, I have $100,000 in my savings account. I'm like, this makes perfect sense to me. I'm gonna just do that. And I started it. I started an allotment, so I don't even have to do anything. It just auto drafts to my savings account. And by the time I retire, I'll have $100,000 sitting in my savings. I don't know what I was going to do with $100,000. I don't really know why I wanted it, but it's just, it's a nice solid number. So it sounded good. So I had that running for a couple months. Kerr started a mobile home real estate business. She's doing just tons and tons and tons about it. We made a video together. Go watch that. She's great. But one day we're just talking on the phone and she's like, yeah, I did this and I did this deal and I took this mobile home and I moved it on this acre of land and I sold this set for this and then I got 2 more and I sold them 3 weeks later and this and this and that. And I was like, oh man, that's great. And she's like, yeah, so I made, round about, you know 250 $300,000, this quarter. And I was like, you did what? And she was like, yeah, no, this quarter I made about, $300,000. I was like, it broke me for like two, 3 seconds. Cause I was like, I just made a 10-year plan to save up $100,000. And this person who used to work for me made 200, $300,000 in 3 months. I'm thinking too small. That's a huge, that's a nugget. I hope somebody takes something away from that. I realized that I was thinking too small. Tons of us think way too small. We put these limits on ourselves. My limit was at $100,000 in 10 years. I was like, that sounds like a good idea. It's not. That's a terrible plan. So many other people make hundreds of thousands of dollars, in a year. Some make it in quarters, some make it in weeks, some make it in days. So it's like, why do I think I'm undeserving or incapable of making that much money quicker? So she just, I love, and none of it was intentional, which is the beautiful part about it. She was just talking just to talk. But that conversation broke stuff in me, broke down walls and barriers on my belief in myself and learning what is possible, of people who maybe didn't start off with a ton of money. Cause that's her. She did all that self-grown, Jamaica, New York, whatever, came down, had nothing, built all that up over the course of like like 2 years. Like she did that. So again, get great people around you because they will motivate you without even trying. Some of y'all have people who hold you back without even trying. They're just so good at holding you back. They don't have to intentionally do anything, but they're so good at it. They've kept you in that spot that you're in for the last 10, 20 years. They're amazing too. So next person I'm gonna talk about is Terry. Terry. So fun fact, I actually met Terry on a dating website. But the reason that we like exchange information is because I saw that she was like heavy into real estate. She has, I think she worked for like the IRS or something. Just it seemed like she had a lot of good things going on, and that I'm intrigued by that, obviously, right? So I was like, boom. So every time we talked, it was never anything romantic. It was always, ooh, I'm doing this and this. She became an agent. She's like, oh, I'm helping my client buy these houses and this and this and that. She took me to her Airbnb and she was like, yep, so this is the house that I run. I make about this much a year on it. You know, I do this and this. My cleaning lady comes over this. This is automated. I was like, okay. I had known about Airbnbs before, but I always thought they'd be too much work. But just in meeting her and her just deciding to take me into her home and show me how it works like in person, I was like, okay, I'd always thought that doing the Airbnb thing would be really hard, but in knowing someone that's actually doing it and then them just opening up and showing me their processes, I was like, actually, this isn't that bad. So again, just in meeting people and being open to what they're doing, asking questions and just going and learning about it instead of just sitting on believing that stuff is too hard to do grows you. I really appreciate you for doing that. I opened my Airbnb, you know, last month, not month, year, in December, right? It's phenomenal. I love it. I'm highly thinking about doing another one. I might try to do the arbitrage method just to try it out because I like trying stuff out and showing y'all. So thanks, Terry. I'm sorry that I met you on a dating website and all I did was talk to you about real estate, but I still appreciate you. You know, hey, it wasn't meant to be. And then last but not least is Senior Horta, retired, right? I used to work for him. Now he's out making all kinds of money, doing a whole bunch of moves. We'd always talk about just investments, real estate, taxes, loans, just businesses. I was going to start a cleaning business last year. I was doing all the stuff. I had a name for it. It was going to be, was it Peachy Clean, right? Because Georgia, Peach, Clean. I was like, ooh, that name's fire. But he was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, to make money. He was like, well, sure. He was like, and I wanted to do it because I wanted to get into like the leadership portion. I wanted to hire a whole bunch of cleaners, have them going out to places. You know, I felt like that would grow me in a different kind of way. And he was like, well, you know, starting a whole cleaning business from the ground up is kind of difficult. And you're going to have to go clean a whole bunch of houses for when it seems like you don't even like cleaning. I don't. But I was going to do it just for the sake of starting the business. And he was like, you know, you can just go buy businesses. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. Did y'all know that was a thing? You can just go buy businesses. There are websites, you know, they go by state, location. You can be like, people will be selling their just already built businesses. He showed me that website. There was like 3 cleaning businesses on there. And they were like, yep, we want this much money. You're going to get our 3 trucks. We got 7 employees. We make about this much a year. This is how much overhead, blah, 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 blah. All the business dynamics. And you can go buy them. You can do that with the loan. You can do that with whatever money you already have. But he's given me so much information. But what I really appreciate is that he pushes. Anytime I come up with anything, as you may be seen, I think about a lot of stuff, and I love learning new things and trying stuff out. Um, but anytime I bring something up to him, I'll be high on it, and I'll be thinking, oh, this is an amazing idea. I'm gonna do this, this, and that, and that. Anytime I bring something to him, he always pushes back. And he doesn't push back in a negative way, but I think the way his mind works is, okay, well, let me make sure he's thinking about this. Let me make sure he's thought about this. Well, what if this happens? Well, this and this. Have you thought about this? Well, Yeah, that's nice, but the taxes are going to hit you this way. So it's like I'll be on cloud 9 and he'll bring me down to like cloud 6 or 7. He still pushes me and motivates me, but he's like, "Hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that?" And so he pushes me to challenge my own plans and to challenge my understanding of things that I come up with, which in itself is philosophy, is asking a question, finding out the answers to that question, and then challenging your answer to that question. So I appreciate you, sir. I hope you continue to, remain in my life, bounce off ideas. I just talked to him last week, and while I'm learning about taxes and what to do after you get out the military, the different options between 401ks and IRAs and Roths and all that stuff, but then also the annuity plays and a whole bunch of stuff that you've never heard of that you'd only learn about after speaking to a financial planner that deals in retirements and tax strategies. So just tons wealth of knowledge. I appreciate having you in my life. I hope we can continue to dialogue and exchange ideas. So everybody else, these were some examples of people that I've met, and the only way that I even got to this point with these people is, one, it's something that I'm passionate about. So regardless of who I'm talking to, I'm going to bring it up. Whatever you're passionate about, bring it up to people. Bring it up to people you know, bring it up to people you don't know. Because you have no idea, if you just tell everyone, there'll be certain people who know stuff about the thing that you're interested in, and then they'll bring it up to you. Even people that don't know anything about it, when they hear about it from somebody else, they'll be like, "Ooh, Darius likes that thing. Let me go tell him about this person," and then they'll link you up. It's happened to me an enormous amount of times. So whatever you're passionate about, whatever you're trying to be better with, be vocal about it. Don't keep it to yourself and hide it like some people say. To me, that's stupid. The more people you tell, the more it becomes known that that's what you're about, that's what you're interested in. And people will either talk to you about it or refer you to other people who they think are also interested in that same thing. And that's how you can start to build up this friend group of helpful, influential, successful people. All righty. That was a mouthful. But if you made it this far, I really appreciate you for listening. If you'd like me to talk about something else, let me know. We could talk about it. Again, this is Darius Lester, your financial philosopher, and this is Mammoth Money Mindset. Thanks for watching.